there guys, welcome to the channel. I'm gonna make a little different today, and today I'm gonna do something that I've seen other designers do as well on YouTube, and I'm gonna give myself around half an hour, and then we're gonna try to rebuild a Figma design that I found, a very simple design. It's just to see how far we can get on Webflow and what tools we're gonna miss and how long we take, and yep, it's gonna be fun. I hope so, and I hope you can follow along. So it's just a follow along build, and then you can see if you learn something, which I would hope so. So it's gonna be around 30 minutes, and then we'll see how far we can come. First of all, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Felipe, your crazy creative designer from Germany. Today, audio only, so we can focus on the task at hand. But yeah, check out my other videos. I talk about design, business development, and yep. So I'd say let's get started, and let's give it a good 30 minutes, and then we'll see how far we can come. All right, so let me show you the design first. And there you go. It's a very simple design that I found on Figma. So it's basically just the one page that we're going to be focusing on. So we have a little bit of an interaction here and there, like a little button interaction, nothing special. And then we have a couple of boxes here. Then we have a couple of tabs here and a hero banner. Then we have this little grid. Then we have a banner, and then we have a sentence and a very simple footers. So really, it's just for us to see how long builds can take, or how fast, how effective, and how efficiently we can build in different ways on Webflow. And so before we get going, two things I did first, just so you can see. I downloaded the assets, so the images and the files, and I saw what font it was, and fortunately, it's a Google font, which means we can implement it natively from Webflow, and that is pretty dandy, I would say. And secondly, I'm gonna be using my own style system, but you can use Reloom, you can use Lumos, you can use Climb First, whatever floats your boat. You know, it's not about the tool itself, but I've developed my own framework, and the main thing you should do is just to be consistent and find out what works for you and what favors the way you want to build and how comfortable you can be with it. All right, so fantastic. So all right, let me take a peek again. So we have short one pager, half an hour, bam, let's go. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is to check the typography again. So it's work sans that it's used here. So we can do that first. By the way, I'm gonna be ignoring all the other elements like favicon or SEO. It's just about the design today. So let's go to fonts. And on Webflow, we can integrate Google Fonts directly, which is cool, unless you're in Europe, because then you need like a separate cool Google Fonts API because of data protection, which is kind of like silly. But yeah, we're gonna skip that today. So we're just gonna look for work sans. There you go. Just gonna include all the typical variants. I don't think we need italics, but I'm just gonna include it here, right? So let's add the font, and fantastic, here we go. So we have the font added, and everything else I believe I can ignore for the moment. So let's go to open the Webflow, and let's see how everything looks like at the moment, which is pretty empty because there's nothing, literally. So little coffee here. All right, so let's get going by setting the fonts first, I would say, as usual. Okay, let's go back to my design. Variables now. Okay, so let's go to my style guide. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I already have like a spacing system, which I use generally as like a standard, but this is gonna be the case for every style system. So just go with it for now. So let's go to body, and let's set it to work sans for now, because we're going to be using that in general. Let's check out the colors. We can do the variables as well in a second. So yeah, okay, work sans. Okay, so what else we have? We have work sans regular, Oh, DM sans. Okay, DM sans. Medium for the little text apparently. Work sans regular, and beside that, it's only work sans regular and medium for the little text here. So we can use regular for most for the body, and then we can set overrides for the little ones. And oh, by the way, here it was set that's regular again. So yeah, okay, and medium here and there. All right, so let's do exactly that. We set, I believe, yeah, normal, which is the regular weight. Okay, so we're using that also for the headings, which are we need regular. So we're gonna overwrite this on the headings and on the H2s. Here we go. Normal, 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 normal. Let's go to H3. Normal, H4. Set it to normal. H5. There you go. And so I'm not gonna be messing with the size system for now. Let's just take it the way it is. Right now, I might do one or two overrides, but beside that, I'm just not gonna mess with it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So what we can do now, yeah, as you can see, I have different font sizes based on my system, and we can kind of use that if we need to. Then we have text styling, text reps, animations, weights. Yeah, so we can do the font weight as well for works on medium. Yeah, okay, looks good. So let's go to the variables and set the colors. I would say let's go to the base collection. Sometimes you can have a separate color collection. Actually, I generally do, but I was messing around with other stuff. So let's go here. Okay, let's check out the colors. Let's copy the. Okay, let's get the main one, which is 2HF, and then we'll set it to main. There you go. Back we go. Then let's pick this one, the background one. Just gonna set it to let's call it the main light. Okay. What else do we have? Is that the same actually? That is the same, right? I believe. 2HF. Yeah. Then we have should be the same, I guess. D2F, right? No. Okay, there's another one, which is the lighter. Let's set it to lighter, which is very similar though. But yeah. And then I think we have this gray here. What is it? That's white actually, so pure white. And here, I believe it's the same here. Yeah, it's the same. That should be the same as well. Let's just check. Yep, same. Fantastic. And there's a gray here, so that should be. What is this? Okay, F9. All right, got it. So let's set that. Let's go to the gray. There you go. There's my gray color. Beautiful. If we go back, we have white. Okay, and otherwise the text is always in the main color, as you can see. I think also here, right? Just check quickly. Should be though. Yeah. Okay. So what we can do is we can go to body, go to all bodies, and set the color to the main. Here you go. Phenomenal. So we've saved ourselves some work here. And I think from here we can actually go directly into the build. Oh, I have my buttons, which are still totally messed up, but we can set that right now. So we have the green goes to white, button. Okay, and then we have what is this? And then green goes to lighter green, and I think that's it. Yeah. So we have only and the white goes to. Okay. So one after the other. So let's do the green goes to white. Very first. Well, I should actually clean here my remaining bottoms. They're from other projects, and I kind of just was a little lazy with it, you know. So we have the main color. So, oh yeah, there we go. Background, there we go. Main, and should be white. Yeah. So the color should be white. Main white. I have a main white here. should always have a white. There you go. White, and then it goes to white on hover, which we're going to be doing. So let me just add a background here so we can see it. Okay, so yeah, goes to a little, just to white, right? Yeah, white with the main font color. There you go. And there, set it to my white, or just light, doesn't matter right now. And it definitely looks different, right? Maybe it's just a size, work size, or yeah, I guess. I don't know. Let's make it H4 just to see what changes here. So let's look closer to it. Doesn't seem to be the normal one. Ah, there you go. It's being overridden for some reason. There you go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So it's a little smaller. So let's say, yeah. So maybe H5 right here. Let's see. There you go. Ah, that's so much. So let's just work with H4 for now, for the sake of it. I mean, could also go to the font size and rewrite this, but I don't think I set it up properly. So let's just ignore that for now. Okay, so we have a sweet hover animation works, CSS, okay. And then we have the green goes to greenish variant. So I'm just gonna duplicate this and then create a component after that. So 2 times, and then I'm gonna say, just gonna call it alternate for now. And it goes from green to the lighter green. And yeah, okay, but the thing is the same. Yeah, same size, right? Yeah, it's absolutely the same size. Okay, so we have the only difference is actually the background. So we can go to hover, or we can go to the background, which is supposed to become light, I think. Yeah, okay, looking good. And we have a white, yeah, the white one turning into greenish. So we can go here, and then we can go this abstract something, and then it goes from white to greenish. So we have to change the background color, first of all, to white. Beautiful. With the main color for the font, main. And then it goes to the light greenish one. And then we can go here, change the background to main light, and that should be it. Right? That should do the trick. Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna create a component here. So that's gonna be our BTM main. Let's put the property, right? Yeah, put the text. Title, yeah, that's fine. Like, we don't have to mess around with it too much. Then we go to the second button, and then we'll create button 2. Same thing, we can connect the property. We just have the title, there you go. And then button 3, button 3, there you go. Same thing, we go to the H4, then we can connect the title, there you go. Okay, and I think that's as far as I'm gonna go in terms of preparing assets, because yeah, we'll focus on what's more important. So let's go to the homepage, which is that we have nothing basically. So okay, so let's see, we have a padding top button. Let's put it into a padding container, global padding. Yeah, okay, so what we can do is first set, we can set a global padding. Okay? Global padding. Hopefully you can type better than I apparently can. I already have it. Oh Jesus, I thought that didn't. Okay, so let's just use a global padding. Ah, there you go. Have it already set. Okay, this again, it's using my system, so I apologize for being working on this in cheating, evidently, but I'm just gonna reduce it to have it closer to the design. Yeah, something like that. And let's just remove the header for now. Yeah, that's more or less, or that's at least much closer. So let's set a, let's do an F, and let's set the hero banner, I would say. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go to page main. Actually, here's an F bar, but you don't have to. It's just because the right tag is already set, and it's got a drop down. But for some reason, I prefer to customize it, and we don't need that drop down here, so I'm just gonna skip that. I'm gonna go to div. I'm gonna create a nav, and then inside, I'm gonna create a nav contain. Set the global padding here. Then we can set this to absolute, or actually we can set the nav to absolute. And we'll pull it up as long as the page main is relative, which is not. So let's make it relative. So nav, and then there you go. So let's see what we need. 2 sides. So I'm just gonna put it here. Okay, let's give this a width of 100%. Okay, it's gonna be nav rep. Inside, we're gonna drop a div on the left. We're gonna make it flex, X space between, gap, fluid. So as you can see, my system, but you can do it with any style guide. It's all about the style guide. Okay, so the nav rep, global padding. It's not 100% for some reason, so I'm just gonna give it a nav combo class. And the nav contain for some reason is also not. Just give it a 100%. There you go. That should be better. And the nav should be 100% as well. That's because I didn't. I was a little stupid here. I forgot to add the full width thingy. So we need we have a logo on the left and we have a button and something else on the right. But we don't have a logo here. So, or do we actually download the logo here? Nah, it's okay. We just use a placeholder, so we'll just use a heading here. Say, then Noble Finances. There you go. Jesus. So, what's this doing here? Jesus Christ. Noble Finances. Beautiful. And then on the right side, we have a little thingy and the button. So we can give it a flex. We'll just give it nav right contain. Inside, we're gonna need a text, and we can add the button main. I think was it? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So we can make the nav right contain turn it into flex. Give it a gap of fluid XS maybe, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Then we'll just call this services, right? And the button is book an appointment. Now what's going on is that the nav is it's not above the section. So yeah, there you go. So book an appointment. Okay. Okay, so please don't pay attention to the humongous size here. Oh, actually, we forgot to give it a border radius of 100 VH. VW, there you go. Let's make it round. There you go. Book an appointment. Okay, so far so good. Then we need a background, which is, I don't know, minimum of 60 SVH or something. 65. So let me close the nav for now. Let's go to this section. The section needs a hero contain. Okay, so I like to assign. So the way I like to build this hero, then you get a section. Okay, and then you have a contain, Then inside the contain, you can place the global padding. And inside the padding, you could place the hero web. Oh, sorry. Hero web. Okay. And what I like to do then is to have the freedom to use hero contain as a relative, and then place a background behind it, right? Which we could do. We don't have to, but we could. Give me 1 second. So there are many ways to go about this. I'm just thinking about the least painful way to do this. So we could go to hero contain and give this a minimum. I think that makes sense because then we can place it in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so the hero contain is gonna be our container of choice for now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a minimal height of, I don't know, 65 SVH or something. Okay, looks better. And then just to remain flexible, I'm gonna add a separate container for the BG for the color, just to stay flexible. I didn't have to because I could make hero contain. I could add a color there, but yeah, just to once again to be flexible. And so what we can do is to go to hero contain, turn it into a flex and a column. Then we can go to hero contain, and then we can stretch it to take up the entire thing. What is it? Of course, that's the global padding. Right, hero contain, and then we can place it in the middle. Just because I didn't put the hero contain to absolute. There you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So I give the background now, which is the main light, right? Yeah. Okay, it's the main light. And let me just see if I use the. Nope, this should be relative. There you go. And now I have the content. Cool. So I think in terms of size, it's maybe 70. Maybe 70. If we go to hero contain, say it's 70. There you go. And the background should expand. There you go. Fantastic. So what we need now is to have a container here in the middle. It's more or less centered. We can play around with paddings a little bit, but it's definitely centered, and it has it's got a container padding here, an additional padding that I had overseen, but that's okay. So what we can do is, instead of going to the global padding, I'll just remove them, and then I'll create a new padding, which is padding. I'm just gonna give it a class of, I don't know, padding type, something like that. Right. Hold on. Let's see. So we got the background, I have the hero wrap, and inside the hero wrap, there you go. So I have the padding. Let's give it 100%. There you go. And now I can add the side paddings. So I'm going to use my fluid sizes, as I generally do for stuff like this. Even though do I have paddings defined here in this one? Yeah. Oh yeah. So pad global. I don't know, maybe 4. Let's see. Let's add some content in here. Padding. No. It has to be relative. There you go. Yeah. Okay. It's definitely not enough. So we'll go to pad as global. Throw in like an Excel. It's the biggest one I have right now. So let's have an Excel here. And then for the top, it's always good to have some padding, but yeah, because otherwise you can run into issues. I'm just going to be very practical about this and give it one of my predefined paddings, just to have a little spacing. I'll turn this into an H1. Yeah, now it looks too tight. So hold on, let me reduce it by 1. Let's give it an L. There you go. And then we can go here. Financial clarity, you can trust. See, it's too large. Of course, we have to set maximum sizes. Yeah, okay. I have a beta update here, which is why it may look different from your console. But okay, so we have to obviously set a maximum here, and we could use a flex or a grid. I'm just gonna use a flex because it feels more practical right now. Let me give it an H2 just to make it smaller for now, so I can see it better. So here wrap, and then we have the illustration at the right. So I'm just gonna go with an image. I don't think we need to create too many containers or divs right now. It's all good. So this is the asset I had downloaded. Here we go. Beautiful. So let's go to hero rep and then put it like that. And then obviously, let's say that's the hero. Yeah, Jesus. Hero image. We can give it a maximum width of, I don't know, 25 inch, something like that. Yeah, Jesus, that's truly not that bad. Okay. So I realize we have more content here on the left, so we're gonna have to wrap the title in a container. I can give this a container. Actually, I also have maximum sizes defined. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add, I'm gonna call this hero content contain, and then I'm gonna give it a max width of don't know, 600 pixels maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's okay, but obviously I have to set it to space between. There you go. See. Yeah, I think it's okay. More or less the size that we can see here, apart from the typography, which turned out to be way too large. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decrease this again by one, factor of one. There you go. Just so I have more spacing, but obviously, if you want to do this properly, then you wanna pay attention to that. Obviously. Okay, let's see how an H1 would look like here. Yeah, definitely. See, you would definitely have to mess around with the typography size, and even though it's not that different, maybe if we give it a max width of 800, maybe. See, well, it definitely works better. So yeah, let's go with that for now. Okay, fantastic. So in the left wrapper, we have a text and we have a button. So we can actually make this a component afterwards. Doesn't appear to be the same gap, right? Well, there's a 24 and from here to here. So there is a 50 pixels, and from here to here it's 24. So it's definitely not the same. Which means we can create another div, and we can create we can group the content hero content prep. Yep. Then in here we can drop the text block, and then in here we can make this into a flex. There, give it a responsive gap. So yep, so let's see, something like that. And then we can copy the text. Here we go. Place it, and nice. And then we just need the button here. We should add a div just to be safe, or to lay down a structure. And then here once again I'll go for a gap, maybe like this. And then here we can place the button, which would be the heading. Let's just see how it looks. Yeah, okay, it's relatively okay, I guess. Yeah, so we've been working for 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so I only have 5 minutes now. Okay. All right, so let's say the hero is done, and now we want to go to the next section. So I usually have like a placeholder here, but it's gonna create another section. Then section 2. Then I'm gonna pull it up. There you go. And then same thing. Add a section, a 2 contain. In here, we can add a div, which is going to be the global padding. And then in the global padding, we can add another div, and that's going to be to rep. Okay. So now we have to figure out what to do about this. So yeah, we just have a, this is going to become a component afterwards. You know, you can just create a component for text and with a button that you can reuse. Definitely we're going to be using the larger paddings here. So let me do that first. It's not global padding, but it's the section 2 padding, right? So we have a, actually what we can do is just to increase the global padding. So we can use it everywhere. So I'm gonna increase it here. Pads, vertical. Issue is I applied that to the top, so I have to change that, but I can do that in 1 second. So I'm gonna give it a top of M, and here as you can see, global padding is nav. It's a boo-boo. I should have paid attention to this before, but I'm just gonna duplicate this and then call it nav global padding. This is not good practice, by the way, but it's very, very distracting to talk at the same time. So now we can go here and reuse the proper global padding here. Okay, so we can do the same margins as we have here. We have a text and we have the button, and then we can add the eyebrow at the very top. So if we take this and turn it into a component and center the text, then we can reuse it pretty much anywhere. So what we can do is go here to the hero content rep, and then I can add an eyebrow here. Okay, and we're gonna just call it eyebrow. Jesus. Okay, and it seems that we have sufficient distance margin from H1, which should be 0 actually. Yeah, it is. But the line height ensures that we have some. Actually, sorry, we have a gap from the flexbox. So now we can go here and we can turn this entire thing into a component. There you go. Yeah, okay. So I can turn this into a component and I can say text or main text block. And then we can use visibility, or we could play with slots as well, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna go with visibility here. So I can add a eyebrow visibility. Okay, so we can hide that. And I'm gonna add, okay, because this is a component, inside of a component, we're gonna be using slots, but I'm just gonna skip that right now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the button rep, and then I'll just call it button rep. So we can add the visibility settings to the button rep instead of the component. So again, cheating a little bit. So I can add the button visibility here. There you go. And then just make sure it works. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we can set the text as well. And the tag. Yeah. So we can set the tag, title tag. Yeah, tag, that's fine. And then we can set the text to the title. Then we can set the color text, that's fine. The button text, yeah, we have that already, actually. Button text, yeah. Button title, that's fine. And the eyebrow, there you go. Eyebrow, there you go. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and we have to be able to center it as well, so we can create a variant. So let's do that. I'm gonna go with main text block. There you go. As you can see, it's not centered. We can go to rep, and we can turn this into flexbox and center that, and then we go to the main text block. Then we can create a variant like here. There you go. And then we just call it centered. There you go. And then we can take the entire div and we can center it like this to center the content, and then we can center the text as well, like that. And why is this not? What did I mess up here? No, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So I have to, the text block. That's because the hero content wrap is a box in and of itself. So we have to center that too. There you go. There you go. And then we can go to the center variant and voila. And now we can copy the text. We can take this, then we'll go back, then we'll go here, then we add it here. Sorry, there. And then we turn it into H2. Beautiful. Copy the services, which is going to be the eyebrow. There you go. And serving individuals and businesses should be here. Yep, there. And the button, schedule call. Schedule a call. Voila. There you go. And it's been 30 minutes now. So I've reached the limit, I believe. So as you can see, pretty straightforward. I hope it was easy to follow along, but yeah, it's like setups take a while, and then you have to, like for instance here, we have to add the pointer events, the pointer here, right there, like the cursor, and then obviously, what I didn't do is to use the slots property, which I should have here. So you could use a slot for the button, and then you can use a component inside the component, basically. But this one was relatively straightforward, I think, and naturally the font sizes, that can be a pickle. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna do that without pressure. At some point in time, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. But apart from that, should be pretty close. Oh, by the way, I can hide the eyebrow here. And we can group this, by the way. We can organize this a little better, because it's very, as you can see, it's very disorganized. But it will do for now, I think. I hope you could understand the flow, how it works, and I'm going to continue to build at some other point in time. It's just under pressure. This is more or less what you can do. You can be faster, you can be slower. I should have paid attention to some little elements, which I usually do, without time pressure. But still, I hope it was easy to follow along. I hope I could generate some value that you can use in your own project. And yeah, I'll continue to build in next episode. Stay tuned for that. Aesthetics Rock. I'll see you soon, and thank you very, very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, means the world to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.